Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I'm Lizzabitty, your partner for international travel. Thank you for tuning in. Okay, I want to take a moment to get some housekeeping business out of the way. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so. Like this video, engage as you enter, and let's get it rolling. Thank you. So in the thumbnail you should have seen an article about how the KFC chicken chain, which is now of course a global company, it's in many countries, how they have been snubbing the local farmers. This is why it's important that you support local and small businesses, okay? One of the reasons why I feel that they are snubbing the local farmers, even though they're lying and saying that their potato quality is not up to snuff. Well, of course it isn't if you're using GMO. Like, what is wrong with folks? If your product has always been genetically modified, and I don't farm that way, there's nothing I could give you that could ever meet the standard. That's the first order of business. But they use that to make it appear as if their product is inferior. The product is not inferior. It's not. It's not. Their product is inferior because they had been importing all of these potato French fries from overseas sources, not Kenyan farmers. Okay? And thus, due to the supply chain worldwide, what has occurred? They have what? Run out. And so now they want to grade Kenyan farmers against the standard. If they do natural organic farming, they aren't going to be able to meet that standard. Of course not. So when you say, well, if they have the quality, well, I do natural farming, so no, I don't meet the standard of the GMO. It's always some debauchery going on. Now, I enjoy some chicken, but sometimes we have to take a stand. If you recall, Dr. Claude Anderson has talked about something in this arena years ago. So it's nothing new. It's nothing new. He let you know that they were not going to support the locals. So that's why wherever you decide to make your international move, because we're not a monolith, and people may not want to go on the continent, they may want to go South America, whatever. It is important for you to reach the base of the local population. That is important. It is important for a host of reasons. Okay? When you have these big conglomerates come in and they put a standard that they themselves know no one is going to be able to live up to, because what you're bringing in is poor quality itself. What? Like, really? By design, it has always been said that the quality of food on the continent has just not been good, and we know that to be a lie. Saying some of the quality of the items, contaminants, etc., etc. But that is a Western push to get these farmers to take on GMO, to get these governments to approve GMO. Okay? Understand that. Understand who owns these strands of seeds. So, local. If you recall, the last time I was in Ghana, I was talking about this and why it is important to support these local farmers, okay? One, it tastes better. It just tastes better. Ooh, so very, very nice. Authentic, organic food. Yes. But Kenyans in their country have got to take a stand themselves. The way you make people hurt is by hurting their pockets. That's it. That's how you make somebody hurt. You start messing with their bottom line, they'll get in order. They'll get in order. Or if they won't, what they'll try to do is try to use other nefarious ways in order to get you to stop messing with their money. But you be steadfast. You be strong. You keep your eye on the prize. Make it happen. Because that's the only way you're going to solve this issue with a lot of these companies that come in and they don't want to use local farmers. You see, which in itself, as you know, it could be very financially lucrative. It could be very financially lucrative. A lot has also been said about some of the chains, including Nando's, which I forget what country was started in on the continent. I used to eat Nando's. Listen, it's a chain now. Back then, it was not like that. And it was good. It was really, really good. And so over the years, as they have branched out and opened up new particular franchises worldwide, the quality has gone down. I cannot even eat that stuff anymore. It does not taste the same. But a lot of them don't use the local chickens and stuff as well in the respective countries. Okay? And so here's something for you to think about. A lot of these, the bulk of the nations on earth have their own arm of what they call diplomatic relations. Okay? And so I may enter your country because maybe our biggest export, let's say, is vanilla. And so when my particular diplomatic arm is in your country permanently, yes, we may do consular services, but we're also trying to forge a relationship. So now that you will allow the importation of my vanilla to be sold in your country, all of this backs up into government. This all ties into government, okay? Understand that. And so if at times our relations are not well, you could say, okay, well, at the end of the term, for us to import the vanilla, I'm not going to re-up your contract. The contract is done. Or you may pull the trigger even prematurely and just say, hey, you know what, girl, I am tired of you. We don't want your vanilla. Your business is done. There will be no more entry through our ports with your vanilla. And so if the countries are not using the local folks and they're bringing in their own stuff from wherever they're bringing it from, they're missing out on money. It's all financial. But it is also involving the government, because those are the ones who makes the rules. The people who work in the government sectors of these countries make the rules on imports and exports. The same wherever you're living. Wherever you're living, don't just think that you can bring different things in here. I mean, an example, like people think you can just bring all kinds of plants and stuff into this country, into the U.S. or wherever. You can't. They have protocol. They have protocols. And so it is not just that simple that you're going to start ordering some stuff and you're going to send it up in here. Now, sure, there are standards and things For certain things, there's reasons why they have certain restrictions on certain items. But a lot of that stuff, no. This is about quid pro quo. Okay? And if you don't do what I tell you to do, we're going to make your life a living nightmare. So the Kenyans need to get focused, do their due diligence. The government should also say something too, because after colonization, a lot of these rules and things about how they did trade, a lot of that trade, the deals that they were doing, it came after colonialism, and they were forced to accept terms that they likely did not agree with. Terms they likely did not agree with, but if you recall, a lot of these countries were saying, okay, well, we will wipe your debt free and clear if you do X, Y, and Z. So, and since that has been going on, a lot of them have not changed their trade laws. A lot of the trade laws are antiquated. So a lot of these countries need to go back, revisit their systems, and make some changes. I mean, because when you have a lot of these Western companies that are going to come in here and try to take over different market shares of different business lines, different entities, a lot of the locals are going to be left behind. Why do you think America's in the mess she's in today? See, all this stuff behind these free trade agreements, hence why we no longer have manufacturing. And then you go out and buy a Ford or a Chevy, and it is not even made in America. They out here outsourcing all the parts elsewhere. But they told you it was American made. Same thing. That's the same thing. That was pushed by the government. Yeah. And tax-paying Americans fell for the okie doke. Same thing. And so now, since all of the countries are dealing with supply chain issues, you're stuck because you have lost your own arm on creating your own value chain. You see how that works? See, you may have thought that it was isolated. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. You see? So, Kenyans need to rise up and show them their worth. They need to show them their worth, because it's not good. And what's gonna happen, even become more prevalent. You're gonna see this continuously wherever these different companies move into in the different nations. You're gonna see the same thing. You're gonna see the same thing. Same thing. So this game is old. This is not a new game. It's very, very old. But it just seems like people are paying attention just a bit more than maybe they would before, just because of what's happening now. But this is not, it's nothing new. It's nothing new. They have been doing mess like this. They've been doing it. And see, what you have to watch too is when you see people, because they are so happy to work, they're so happy to have a job with some company, they'll talk about you for saying how they are having bad business practices and why it's not good for the local economy. So you have to watch that as well. Let's see some of your comments. All right. Thank you all for liking and listening. Hello, Necessary Evil. How are you, dear? Finish the race, BL. They need to bark. Hey, yes. Yes. I agree. I agree, Liz, because that's how you win. You got to hit them in the pockets. That is the only language they understand. That's the only one. The only one. Liz says, why would they even import chicken into? Oh, because it's not GMO. Because it's not GMO. So you may have come in after I was giving you the backstory. The backstory with that is they try to say that the Kenyan farmers' potatoes have to be of the same quality standard. Well, the quality standard is that most of the potatoes here in the West, specifically the USA, GMO. So if I am a true organic farmer How can my potato line up against a GMO potato? It can't. It can't. So that's why you have to watch the a lot of these entities use this coded language because people are not drilling down to truly see what they're saying. Because what standard are you talking about? Oh, I know what the standard is. The standard is that you want to bring in some damn GMO up in here. So people, they have to be mindful. Hello, Iron 5. Thank you for joining in. So that's what the standard is. The standard is, because remember, all of the African nations have not accepted GMO. They are not 100% GMO across the board. Now, some have. Nigeria was the latest one to accept it. Because they're pushing this nonsense that these countries cannot feed their people. Yeah, they've been feeding themselves. Now, all of a sudden, you come up in here because you have this mathematical formula that they cannot feed their people, you see. And so, yeah, we want to usher in nefarious science to get you to get on board and purchase these unnatural methods to feed yourself. So yes, it's all about money. It's all about money. It's all about money and control. And so if these guys are not fighting for their own legitimacy, because it's not about them being at a high standard, because the products that they brought in, they came from America. All these potatoes that you all buy in the grocery store in America, these French fries and stuff, that stuff is GMO. And don't be fooled by Whole Foods. I mean, we've had discussions about this before. Do not be fooled by Whole Foods. Do not. They are upcharging you folks. And you all think that you got something she. And so you going there spending up all your money. Yup. Hello, Mr. Untouchable. Yes, that's my internet husband. You can see him. He say Happy New Year. So yeah, just be mindful of what's going on. Remember, these people play games, and you have to be aware and think about the tactics of the art of war. Because everything is not going to be just dead in your face. There are covert ways to get people to do things. Okay? And so, yeah. Mr. Untouchable, these farmers markets, if you're going to the farmers market in the U.S., you have to ask those farmers if their harvest is natural. You have to ask them that, because a lot of these farmers, remember how they've started pushing. GMO has been around for quite some time. The science aspect of it, the technology, as you know, you move throughout. Technological advances make stuff like this become more streamlined. They enhance it, get it better, etc., etc. So back when they were pushing GMO heavy on American farmers, how they were pushing it, and you can watch the movie, there was a movie, I can't think of the guy's name, recently, must have come out earlier, last year or this year, but it's a farming movie. And it talks about how Monsanto was basically suing him because they said that he stole their genetically, their proprietary strand of a particular canola. And he hadn't. So the farmers in the U.S. were encouraged to plant those types of seeds because it was pushed that they were cheaper. So when they started looking at their bottom line, got their spreadsheets on how many seeds they would need for this number of acres and how long it's going to take and all this blah blah. When they get it done, because all this, that's a fine science, baby. They saw that they could save more money, and so that's how they're moving it on to other places. That's not only here in America. Yes, Mr. Untouchable. Yes, yes. I cannot think of the name of it, but yes, Christopher Walken is in that movie. Yes, Christopher Walken is in that movie. You're correct. He is in that movie. You're absolutely correct. So, yeah. People have got to be aware of how the cycles of certain minutia goes on. Everything is not just going to be overt and in your face. They're going to use coded language, covert operations, make the people think that they're stupid or that your stuff is worthless when it's not. You know, you have to ask yourself, how is it that these people are so healthy versus all the other stuff that's going on in other parts of the world? You have to ask it. It's something going on. I've always and long said that I attribute a lot of the illnesses that are perpetuated in the West is done via the food supply. It's very easy. It's very easy for us to manipulate the food supply system. Very easy. And so, yeah. And people are more accepting because they plant these propaganda programs to make you think that what you have is just not good. That's not the case. I mean, even I think I did a story on here about how when I was a kid, you know, all of the fruits had the natural seeds, and the grapes and the watermelons, etc. And now if you even get a watermelon in the States, if it has seeds, the seed color is not, it's different. The color of the seeds is different. Listen, watermelon in Ghana is sweet. Oh, at first I was apprehensive because I don't like overripe watermelons. I don't like overripe watermelons. And I think I was with Cherie, and she said, girl, try this watermelon, because I love watermelon. I could not stop eating it. I mean, I ended up eating way more than she was willing to share. So, but I'm saying, just be mindful. Just be mindful. Be mindful. Because you folk accept stuff because you just think, oh, okay, well that's just business. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Something behind the meaning. Something behind the meaning. Let's see here. Iron 5 says whites. Yes. What happened to the black seeds, Iron 5? What happened to the black seeds? What happened to the black seeds? The people want to know. So, I would have that stuff in my carry-on. I wouldn't have it in my my checked baggage. But yeah, you could. You definitely could. Or go to or Miss Untouchable, even if you went like to the islands and stuff, and went to a farm, and you know, maybe you got some papayas, whatever. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So I just wanted to come on and just update you about that. I know I've been gone for a while. I have a lot going on in my personal life. So yeah, mess. Nothing but mess. Be mindful. And if you are not versed in the art of war, go and cop that. Go and cop that. Think of it, if you're a chess player, think of it as different moves across a chessboard. And how you have to be strategic in your thinking to win your opponent. It's not like playing, you know, checkers and things, all right? But you all have a good one. Happy New Year, since I didn't say that in my tardiness and rudeness. I am in the United States of America. I wanted to come on here and do a video last night, but I was so exhausted, I fell asleep. I'm noticing some things because I haven't been here in almost 2 years. And I'm noticing some stuff. I'm noticing some things. I'm noticing some things. What's happening with you folk banking system here? Why are these banks running out of money? That's another topic. I need to come back on here. Matter of fact, I need to send a Sly message. Sly needs to talk about this banking mess. How are these banks running out of money? I thought you all had a Federal Reserve. I'm asking for the church. Just some things that I'm noticing. And please do not tell me about that you all don't have armored car drivers. Anyway, you all have a good one. I'm going to send Sly a message and see if he will touch on these banks that are claiming they have no money. That should be a good one, Iron 5. That should be a good one. Hey, Gail. Hey. If you all like some good art, listen. Now, you see Gail P. Designs over here, okay? Now, this is a personal friend of mine who is very, very talented. She is very, very talented. You all go over to her Instagram, Gail P. Designs, and see some of her artwork. She is very, very talented. All right? So, yeah. You all have a good one. Just noticing some stuff.